Welcome to the Know, I'm Turney.
I'm Jenkins.
Sad day, everyone. Apparently we were just this close to Half-Life 3 releasing on Steam.
Keep the crowbars in your pants, guys. It's not what you think.
Yeah, Steam users were surprised this week to find a rather interesting new game on the platform's homepage titled Watch Paint Dry the Game.
Ooh, that's my favorite game.
As it turns out, it was put there by a 16-year-old without Valve's authorization.
Watch Paint Dry was billed as a puzzle sports game where you watch paint dry, which is super accurate because that's literally all you do for the whole 45 seconds till the game's over.
Oh man, Sims are just getting out of control. So how such a game made it through a greenlight process resulted in a bit of controversy, with users complaining that Valve had lost all control of its ecosystem.
But according to a new post on Medium from 16-year-old Ruby Nealon, it was all a practical joke. Ruby claims that in addition to bypassing Greenlight, including its $100 no time wasters fee, he skipped Valve's approval process entirely and managed to put the game onto Steam himself using an exploit he's known about since February. Dude, you should have waited until Friday. That's April 1st. That's when you do these things.
It's very true. In the post, he explains that reports of the issue have gone unheeded by Valve, writing, "This is no more than a prank and was merely to test something I've been trying to report to Valve for the past few months. The ability to get any game you want on Steam without Valve ever even having a look at it."
Now that the issue's been fixed by Valve, Nealon thought he'd engage in some not-so-humble bragging about his exploits, which is what anybody uses Medium for, really. Well, that or complaining about your job at Yelp, maybe?
Yeah, this whole ordeal started when the young programmer first got access to a Steamworks account and then started tinkering around with it.
And while tinkering, Nealon noticed vulnerabilities that could lead to publishing a game without Valve's say-so. After trying and failing to get Valve's attention for some time, he finally decided he'd get Senpai Newell to notice him by just releasing the whole game on April Fool's Day, or March Fool's Day in this case.
Releasing a game on Steam typically requires a 3-step approval process. First, you submit your store page for review, then a final or close to final build, and finally you get the option to release it.
Nealon found he could futz his way past the review stage by tricking the service into thinking the game had already gotten an initial approval from Valve. From there, Nealon figured out that by inputting bad requests on his app's release form, he could return back a list of working values, one of which allowed him to set his game to a released status.
This kid, just barely old enough to drive. Just want to keep just drilling that home.
Remember, don't text and drive.
That's true. His post is pretty technical, but here's the basic TLDR version for all of us not as smart as a 16-year-old. After getting past those phases, it was apparently an easy matter for him to dig through the code and find the command that would push it out to the store. In all, the whole thing cost him just 2 nights of his life.
And thus, Watch Paint Dry was unveiled to the world in all its majesty. And in case any of you were wondering where the game's sick paint drawing graphics came from, you can thank our RPG Maker for that.
Per Nealon, he says that he actually never intended to have the game appear in the store immediately. However, he did plan on getting caught all along and hoped to tell everyone how it was done once Valve fixed the issue.
I see. Sure you did, kid. In a move that would have sent Valve fanboys completely over the edge, the programmer said in an interview with Kotaku that he seriously considered titling the game Half-Life 3.
What a white hat that he didn't. Unfortunately for his bank account.
He probably just wanted to live through this whole thing.
No, but it was nice that he resisted the temptation to play with our hearts. Fortunately for his bank account, of course, and the hearts of the entire internet, he came to his senses and decided not to name it Half-Life 3, mostly out of fear of being sued.
Instead, he just played with the hearts of all of us who really wanted to watch Paint Dry Simulator.
Ooh.
In the same interview where Kotaku got in touch with Nealon, they learned just a little bit more about the teenager behind this fake game release. And according to the university student who graduated high school at 14, by the way, he's been helping solve exploits as a hobby since he was 11 years old.
Twist ending, his name is Caden, and he works in this office. In all, Nealon says he's helped find around 100 vulnerabilities since then, including a few bigger companies like Microsoft and Corsair. Microsoft actually acknowledged him in its security researcher page. Look at
As
him.
for Valve's response to Ruby's foray into indie game development, though, well, they haven't expressed such gratitude, which is sort of rubbing Nealon the wrong way.
True. I mean, speaking to Kotaku, Nealon said not only did they not offer a bug bounty like Google would, but they're not willing to put me on their security acknowledgements page because apparently that's only for people who consistently submit bugs to them.
And maybe don't take over their entire store homepage.
Hey, if you're gonna have a security vulnerability, people are gonna fuck with it. That's on you, Valve.
He even emailed his grievances about Valve not offering bug bounties to Gabe Newell, with no response as of yet.
But we're waiting for Lord Gaben to descend and do what's right.
He'll just post it on Reddit.
By the way, for those of you guys who aren't familiar with bug bounties, they're really commonplace in the tech world. Basically, it's when a company offers a reward or a bounty for finding vulnerabilities in its system or products and then, not being a dick about it.
Yeah, it's the new way you can be a bounty hunter. Many of these programs are ongoing for companies like Google, Facebook, Microsoft. They give out cash for finding bugs. Google and Yahoo offer up to $20,000 for their bug bounty program, with the compensation scaling depending on what vulnerabilities you find. Facebook, on the other hand, has no maximum for what they might offer. So go put stuff on their homepage.
Yeah, they got that VR money. They're spending it. These bug bounties and the white hat hackers who participate have led to all kinds of improvements in the software and services we use every day. I mean, a lot of people actually do this as their full-time jobs, collecting rewards for new vulnerabilities that they find.
Even the government's gotten in on it. Earlier this month, the Department of Defense launched a Hack the Pentagon initiative calling on people to find security gaps in the department's 500 public networks and sites.
Not that people needed that much encouragement to go ahead and hack the government.
Well, maybe just to hack it nicely.
That's true. With Valve so often being exalted as internet messiahs, it's a little strange that they don't offer bug bounties to, help the industry the way large tech companies do. They manage the largest PC gaming storefront in the world. You'd think it was pretty important to them for people to catch their bugs.
Yeah, it's especially odd when you consider some of Valve's recent security issues. They admitted back in December that 77,000 Steam accounts got hijacked every single month, and then a few weeks later had that huge Christmas Day fiasco where they publicly displayed users' private information to other people.
That's true. They actually got called out for this in an open letter from several developers back in 2014 who criticized them for not offering a more robust security system, one that rewards and makes it easier to report issues. At the time, all Valve did to reward bugs was offer some nice Team Fortress 2 items, a hat perhaps, which just made people report fake bugs more.
Yeah. What about a pat on the back? Like,
yeah. Oh, so nice.
Do you feel like reporting bugs now?
Yeah, but can I have 20K if we're giving stuff out?
Valve did respond to the letter eventually, which resulted in a newfangled security page complete with an address where you can send them emails they apparently don't read.
As for this new case with Nealon, you can't completely blame Valve for not responding publicly just yet. The guy did make kind of a mockery of their system and actually released a game into the wild.
That was 45-second game, but still.
Yeah. To their credit, though, I mean, at least they told Kotaku they were grateful for what he'd done.
But if someone with less pure intentions than bragging a little bit on Medium had managed to put a game onto Steam and, say, filled it with malicious code or used it to gain credit card info from users, that would have been kind of entirely different kind of shitstorm for Valve. And in Nealon's defense, he did try to tell them about the vulnerability beforehand.
Absolutely. This could just be another case of the infamous Valve time, in which extremely well-documented cases like Half-Life 3 perhaps, where they
everything
just take
is in
their
Valve time.
Sweet damn time.
It's gonna take 2 weeks. It'll take a few months.
That's right. Maybe they're just thinking about getting around to thanking Nealon in their own Valve-esque way.
After he retires.
Yes.
What do you guys think of a 16-year-old hacking this game onto Steam? Should Valve use this as a chance to beef up its security, or was he just kind of a little tit? Let us know in the comments.
You're being a little tit. For more on Steam hacks and games that aren't Half-Life 3, like this video and subscribe to the know. And stop being a tit.
It's weird, because you'd think a tit would be a good thing. Maybe
it is a good thing.
Maybe they mean, like, the birds. Like, when someone's being a tit, maybe they're talking about the birds.
I've never once heard being a tit.
I think it's British. Maybe I've just been reading too many fantasy
You're
books where
being
people
a
call people
tit.
tits.
You're being a quite a nork right now. They call them norks.
Norks?
Yeah, that's like, get your norks out. Once upon a time, oh man, they're gonna use
That's
this
a
video.
terrible name.
Once upon a time, I was swimming with Gavin, and I dove in, and I guess one of my boobs came out of my bra, but I didn't notice, and he goes, "Put your norks away, love." Oh, oi, put your norks away, love. Like he gets ultra British when he panics.
Put your norks
Put your
away,
norks
love.
away.